In today's Founder Diaries, we are about to get real because I was just sitting with God and I was trying to understand why I have been having so much resistance towards creating vlogs, doing all the things that I genuinely love to do. And it came down to a few things. So let's talk about it. The first one being, I had to realize that I was just scrolling way too much. Way too much. I was starting to look for inspiration everywhere else, that I started to not move from as much inspiration within my own self. I was receiving revelation, so I was still talking and sharing what God was instructing me to talk about. But when it actually came to the execution of creating, like the vlogs like I was referencing, or even just yapping videos, I found myself consistently thinking about what someone else was doing. And so I wasn't creating from my own creative place and energy. I was being, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, my mind was just filled up with so much noise. To summarize, my mind was filled up with noise about what everyone else was doing, and this led me to not show up in the way that I believe and know that God has called me to show up. I know God has called me to do vlogs. When I got on YouTube, that's what He told me. You're going to share your life, you're going to share your business, and you're going to give me the glory for it. And I would say it's not even so much YouTube vlogs, it's more so my short form. God has been calling me to do way more personal branding on the short form platform. And I already do that on YouTube. But when it comes to my short form, a lot of that is directly selling or lots of activation. And when you're making content and you're creating, there's 3 content buckets. And this is my framework for posting online. And these 3 buckets are activation. So this is where you're encouraging people. You're giving people a perspective shift. The second one is embodiment content. That's more of the personal branding. That's you showing who you are, what you believe in, like your lifestyle. Like, do you live what you preach? And then you have education content, and that's where you show your expertise. That's where you give more of like tips and shareable things that people can take away, which you could technically do that in all of them. But when you're giving education style content, you're more so teaching someone. What I realized, which I totally forgot my train of thought. I literally have no idea what I was even talking about. So on my short form, I'm posting more content where I'm activating people, but with those activations, I am selling. So I realized that I'm not really doing any of the embodiment content. I am, it's just a really small percentage. And then as far as the education, I'm not doing that at all. On YouTube, I would say I have an even amount where I'm doing activation, I'm doing embodiment, and I'm teaching. I haven't done like a full-on education video in a really long time, but within my embodiment content and within my activation content, I actually am teaching. Like what I just shared with my content buckets. Like there are lots of gems that I drop. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I realized is, okay, why am I not creating vlogs when I know that I love them and I'm really good at them? I realized it was because my vlogs are about routines. My morning routine, my night routine, my productivity routine, my resets, my weekly planning of my calendar and all the things, my reflections. I haven't been doing that. I haven't been really locked into those routines, which is why I haven't been posting those vlogs, because my vlogs were centered around that. And so the second that I fell off with that, I started falling off with the vlogs. And what I'm realizing is this is when I should not stop doing the vlogs, because the vlogs, 1, do help me show up, but 2, it shows the real life of, okay, this is what it looks like when I do fall off. I also had to understand that God has called me into a new season. With every new season, and every season, God is elevating you. And every new season, God is stretching your capacity. He's giving you more because you handled the little, and I handled the little. And so he said this was the year of multiplication. So he's showing me that by giving me more to manage and more to steward. And in order for me to steward more, I'm having to relearn how to show up. Because again, there's more. My routines have fell off and the season just looks different. In my last season, I had people helping me with a lot of tasks, and right now I don't. So that's why God gave me the push. Okay, you don't have the human hands, but you do have Claude Cowork that can help you. You just need to take a moment to take a step back to actually allow it to do what it needs to do for you. But because you're just moving and you're showing up, you're doing what I asked you to do, but you're not giving it your all. And me having that realization, one, has just allowed me to be real with myself and be honest with myself and be like, girl, you have to get it together. God has given you this to steward it. He's given you people to steward. He's giving you a business to steward. He's given you a platform to steward. And I must show up because it's so much bigger than me. And so it's showing me that this season is about discipline. And that is the whole reason why I created Ambitious Woman Sprint, is because it teaches you how to implement systems and how to create them based on the season that you're in. And it shows you when you need to pivot, because you can consistently be doing something and be consistently doing the wrong thing. Consistency can actually be a hindrance to your goals. It can be a hindrance to your dreams. It can be a hindrance to the vision that God has given you, because you are consistently doing something that is keeping you stagnant. If I was to continue on the next few months doing the same thing I'm doing now, one, there would have been so many people that I wouldn't have reached through the impact, and there would have been a lot of financial loss that would have happened as well because of me not showing up. So I'm having these urges, one, to post more vlogs on short form, to implement more personal branding, to contact more brands that already have all the assets. Why haven't I reached out to them? Oh, it just keeps going back to the same thing. Claude Cowork asking and setting that up to actually help me implement the tedious tasks of my business. Number two is taking care of my own self, ensuring that I'm following my own routines. I'm not the business owner, the creator, the person who is different online than I am in person. I am the same person. I stand on what I stand on. I believe in what I believe in, and I'm going to show up the same way. I'm not going to put on a facade and perform and post a 5 a.m. morning routine just to put out a vlog. I'm not going to do that. No. When I post 5 a.m. morning routines, that's because that's what I'm doing. Or if I'm trying to put it into practice and show up that way, I'm going to say that in the vlog. I'm not just going to show up and film something just to put a video out, just so that you can do something that I'm not actually doing. And that's what a lot of creators and business owners do. They talk a big talk, they walk a big walk, but they're not doing what they preach. And that is why it is so important as a business owner that we operate from integrity. And that's just what I stand on. And that's why a huge part of what I talk about inside the inner circle, my 12-month mastermind, a huge part of what I talk about with all of my clients is identity-led leadership. When you know who you are, you don't have to put on a facade. When you know who you are, you don't have to perform. When you know who you are, you're not worried about what anyone else thinks. So me not posting the vlogs has nothing to do about what other people think of me. It has everything to do with myself and not stepping up to the standard that God is calling me to step in. My standard is excellence, and I haven't been operating in that excellence. So that means I'm out of integrity So now that I've had the understanding that, okay, I'm operating out of integrity, I have to get back in it. How do I do that? By pivoting, by submitting to God and making whatever shifts I have to make, whatever it takes. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to the vision God has for me. I'm going to do whatever it takes to impact the people God's called me to serve. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make a lot of freaking money, because that money is going to help people. And of course, I'm saying all this within the context of walking in alignment with God. He's at the center of everything that I do. That's known. If you've been here for a while, you should know that. I shouldn't even have to say that. That's a known. So I'm just really excited that I was able to talk through this with you and work through this. And let me see if there was anything else that I wrote down. I wrote it down on a notebook before I even talked, because I was thinking I don't want to scroll anymore. I don't want to scroll for inspiration. I know how to create content. I know how to work with big brands like Walmart and Good American. I know how to do all of these things. Why am I looking elsewhere? So yeah, it's taking a step back and seeing where I'm not locking in. It's taking a step back, looking at what God told you to do. What was the last thing God said? And where have you not been moving on that word? Where have you not been showing up? I'm just really excited and I'm really grateful. One of the things I wrote down again was my routines. I haven't been showing up. 2, God called me to speak. Still haven't set up a lot of the speaker things for people to actually book me. And then number 3, Claude Cowork to help me implement, be the implementor in my business so that I can focus on my genius. I really pray that this blessed you. My eye just insanely started itching. But I really pray that this blessed you. I pray that you took away some nuggets from this. I hope that you were able to resonate even with the smallest thing that I said. I am so grateful that God has led me to do these founder diaries, to just show you the behind the scenes of what's actually happening, what actually goes on, because these entrepreneurs who are at 100K days and $1 million months, they didn't share the process. And I want to share the process because I know the multi-million-dollar empire, the multi-million-dollar impact is what God has destined for me. He has shown me, and I wholeheartedly believe it. And something that I've been doing is scripting my days. In the morning, I'm writing a journal entry as if it was me at the point where God has shown me. And what this looks like is I'm imagining the things I'm believing God for. So for example, I'm believing God to have a place on the beach with floor to ceiling windows. And whether it's my rental property or my home, it doesn't matter. I'm not getting that specific. I'm more so just like, oh my gosh, I'm so blessed and so grateful that I got to wake up this morning and I got to feel the sun coming in through the floor to ceiling windows. I woke up, it's 8 a.m. I was getting paid while I was asleep. It's already a 10K day. Oh, I'm getting hundreds of texts from my clients telling me how much the work that we've been able to do together has impacted their lives. It has impacted the people that they serve. It has impacted their family. They're making more money than they've ever made in their life. They've been able to give as a result of this money. I go into, and I'm so excited because later I have a Pilates workout scheduled. I'm going to go pick up a matcha and I'm going to drive my purple Lamborghini today. Thank God that I have the option to choose which car. This is my God car. So I'm saying these things because I already know it's mine. He's already shown me in visions. So I'm scripting out my life. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. It doesn't just relate to what I just said was scripting, but it relates to the reflecting, the continued process of refining everything that you're doing and allowing God in so he can actually disrupt your plans, disrupt your life, so that you are going down the right path. You want him to disrupt your plans. You want him to disrupt your life. Because if you don't, you'll start going on your own volition and you'll start being so busy and so distracted that you start going the wrong way. And then when you find out, it's like, oh my gosh, I just spent 2 years doing this, when if I just would have asked God right now in this moment to redirect my path, I wouldn't have spent the past 2 years going my own way. I've learned the hard way about that, by the way. So this just fulfilled me so much. I have to say this, that just talking to the camera, sharing what I'm going through, this is the type of stuff that fulfills me. Of course, I love education, but I just find so much joy sharing the problems that I'm having and how I'm overcoming them, because it shows you that I am a human too. Yes, I am disciplined. Yes, I show up. But God is constantly refining me. God is constantly renewing my mind. God is constantly redeeming me. And he's going to do the same for you. You just got to let him in. And as a business owner, I want to invite you to $1 Million Impact. It's my in-person live mastermind happening in October 15th through 17th, 2026. Hop on the wait list in the link in the description. And I would love for you to get inside Voice of Conviction. I'm going to pop up some testimonies of women who have been in it, and it's only been 4 days. 4 days. This is a 10-day experience that's going to help you build high demand for your offers, build a personal brand that people can't ignore, and also strengthen your authority through the power of your voice. God has been calling you to speak. God has been calling you to use your voice, and you haven't been doing that. This is a space for you. It is a no-brainer investment. Right now, it is $47. I'm not sure when you're listening to this, but it could increase. It could not. I don't know. But right now, it is $47. It's a no-brainer. Women are receiving deliverance. Women are using their voice. Women are coming out of silence. They're getting paid. And they're moving in confidence and the authority that God has given them. And I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't invite you. I'm going to also put that in the description. And I can't wait to hear what you think and how it improves your life and just enhances it and equips you with everything you need. I love you. Bye.